earliest Pan books. Hi, I'm Gary Lovisi, and this time we're going to take a look at the earliest Pan books, British Pan paperbacks and hardcovers. Pan started in 1945, and in 1947 they began their numbered series with number 1 that lasted many hundreds of editions. They also had other series with prefix numbers like the GP series and others. But the interesting thing about these is that in 1945, Pan books originally started off with some hardcovers and dust jackets, which are pretty scarce, and some other early paperbacks that had no numbers, and there's even one that had a dust jacket. So I'm going to take a look at those now, try and show you them. The first one, this is the Pan no number one, is Tales of the Supernatural, and it has stories by Bulwer Lytton, Guy de Maupassant, Robert Louis Stevenson, Alexander Pushkin, and William Austin. And this is from 1945. This is the Pan no number book. 1 shilling. This is a pretty beat up copy, but it's pretty hard to find in any condition. And so this is actually the first Pan book, and it was later reissued as Pan number 22. But this is Tales of the Supernatural, 5 stories, and it's from 1945. And that's the first no number book. Now, this is a paperback, but at this time Pan was kind of feeling its way, and they were doing some paperbacks, they were doing some hardcovers and dust jackets, little hardcovers. So the next book that they did, no number in the series, was Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. This was published in Christmas in 1945, and it's a hardcover and dust jacket. And very delicate, have to be very careful. Christmas Carol. With the Pan, again the Pan logo on the back. And it's illustrated. Very nice edition of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. And this is from 1945. Hardcover in dust jacket. If I can find you. There's a really nice illustration here somewhere, which I can never find when I'm trying to find it. So it's a really nice book. That's the second no number book. The third no number is A Sentimental Journey by Lawrence Sterne. And this is from 1946. Again, it's no number. And this is the paperback. So they started off with the paperback, they went to a hardcover and dust jacket, then they went back to a paperback. That's the spine. The back cover is similar. And this is just kind of what it looks like inside. These are very delicate and they're very scarce books. Excuse me. The fourth no number is The Suicide Club by Robert Louis Stevenson, and this was issued in 1946, and this was reissued as Pan number 31. But this edition, 1 shilling, has no number, and again. So while these books may not be earth-shaking as far as the cover art, they are very, very scarce collectibles. These are the earliest Pan books Limited, and these are the earliest books in that series before the numbered books came out. So the Suicide Club, and then no number 5, we go back to hardcover again, and it's a larger hardcover, It's The Diary of a Nobody. It's a Pan hardcover from 1946, and it's by George and Whedon Grossmith with 32 original illustrations. There's 4 versions of this, and this is 4 hardcover versions with dust jacket of this book. Very, very scarce. This is the first printing from 1946. There's illustrations inside. There's 32 illustrations in it. Very nice book. Very nice little obscure Pan book, which you would never think of, that Pan published these before their famous number series. And we'll get to that in a minute. So that's The Diary of a Nobody. That's no number 5. No number 6 is Scenes of London Life by Charles Dickens. Now this is a facsimile dust jacket. I don't have, this is a copy of the original dust jacket, but this is a facsimile. I don't have the original one. But just to give you an idea of what it looks like, here's the book. The back cover. Spine. So they did a little, now it's they went from different sizes. No number 5, The Diary of a Nobody, is quite a larger size paperback, a hardcover, and then they went back to paperback size with no number 6, Scenes of London Life in 1947. And this is by Charles Dickens. Very nice book. It's also illustrated. Very nice book. Very, very scarce. Well, this is a facsimile dust jacket, but this is what the dust jacket looks like. No number 7 is the last of these no number editions, which I do not have. It's The Fountain of Life, and it's from 1949, and it's verses of the Bible, which was reissued as Pan 194. It's a hardcover in dust jacket, and unfortunately I don't have that one. That's the one that I'm missing. After that, this was the earliest part of Pan books that they're doing paperbacks, they're doing little hardcovers, larger size hardcovers, and so they did 4 books, hardcover books in dust jacket before they went into their regular series. And then they went into their regular series. And the first book I don't have, Pan number 1, is 10 Stories by Rudyard Kipling. That book I don't have, but I do have a couple of versions of number 2, which, strangely enough, Pan book number 2, and it's got the number on the spine, the bottom, number 2, from 1947. This is the 1947 edition. Lost Horizon, which was pocketbook number 1. So in the United States, pocketbook in 1939, pocketbook number 1 was Lost Horizon. In 1947, Pan book number 2 was Lost Horizon. And this is Lost Horizon from 1947. This is a reprint from 1950. It's just 3 years later with new cover art. I don't have, this is the 3rd printing and this is the 1st printing. I've never seen the 2nd printing, so I don't know which cover the 2nd printing has on it. But this is, so the 1st printing in 47, and then they changed the printing in 1950 to this one, Shangri-La, Lost Horizon. The other interesting thing is, so now we're going into the early Pan book numbers series, and it's a great series of books. Very many terrific stories in there, books that were published, and one of the books that's interesting is Pan number 48, which was published in 1948. And it's this one here, Mr. Perrin and Mr. Trail by Hugh Walpole. And this, number 48, is a dust-jacketed paperback, dust-jacketed Pan. I don't know how many Pan with dust jackets were published, but this is one of them. And it may be the only one for all I know. I'm not sure, so I don't know. Probably Jules Burt would know. He's a Pan collector, but we both share a love of these books. And so here's the first printing of Pan number 48 from 1948, the cover art of the paperback, and then the cover art on the dust jacket. And the back covers are the same, pretty much, very close. So they have some interesting, I think, early, scarce, and kind of offbeat editions of kind of earliest Pan books that probably nobody's seen unless you're a real fanatic for collecting Pan books. These are pretty scarce, and I just hope you enjoyed this look at early Pan. It's a great series of books to collect. There's many great books in that series, and this is just how it started out before they even went into the numbered series. They were kind of feeling their way with different sizes, using hardcovers with dust jackets, little paperbacks, larger paperbacks, and everything. And it's interesting to see how they kind of figured out how their format would be. So with that, just want to say thanks for looking. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.